Hi, my name is Jonas Oppenlaender and I will present you our research on crowdsourced design feedback on behalf of my co-authors Elina, Andrés and Simo. At the University of Oulu, we run a human-computer interaction course in which bachelor students undergo the full design thinking process, from coming up with ideas for a mobile application to implementing paper and high-fidelity prototypes. Students also evaluate the usability and user experience of the prototypes. Due to the pandemic, evaluation of paper prototypes is of course difficult to do, and this inspired our research on crowdsourced evaluation of user interfaces. The research is part of a larger doctoral project in which I investigated stakeholder experiences of creative work on crowdsourcing platforms. Crowdsourced design feedback is not a new area of research, and several prior studies established, for example, the feasibility of using crowdsourcing for design feedback in the classroom. Our study is similar to the study by Vauk et al., and we set out to reproduce and extend these prior findings. Students in our course were asked to peer evaluate the designs of other students. Each of the 112 students received a feedback package with design feedback from 9 other students and 9 crowd workers. Feedback was collected online and also included one open-ended item. The results from the final questionnaire showed that the students found peer design feedback to be significantly more specific, actionable, explanatory, and relevant to the task of designing a mobile application. Peer design feedback was also perceived to be of higher overall quality, and students were overall more satisfied with the peer feedback. We also investigated how students perceived the fairness of the design feedback and found that students' perception of fairness was shaped by 5 dimensions: agreeableness, balance, that is, effective tone, usefulness, diligence, and credibility of the crowd worker. The latter 2 dimensions relate to the students' preconceived notions about the crowd worker. These preconceived notions also became evident in how the students valued the design feedback for the given task of designing a mobile application. The students estimated the monetary value of the feedback to be between 0 and 20 euros with a mean of 5 euros. We divided the students into 2 groups. One group of students did not find the crowdsourced design feedback useful at all, and therefore did not attribute any value to the design feedback. We called this group Hardhats because of their down-to-earth and matter-of-factly way of valuing the feedback. The other group, called Bungaloos, had a more bona fide and naive approach to valuing the feedback's monetary value. In this group, we found an interesting mismatch between the usefulness of the design feedback and the monetary valuation. Students from this group often acknowledged that the crowdsourced design feedback had little usefulness, but still attributed a positive value to the crowdsourced feedback. This is because students from this group thought of the crowd worker as a professional and expert who must be paid a handsome amount of money, even if the feedback is not useful. Our paper consolidates a number of recommendations for using crowdsourcing in the context of the classroom. For instance, to avoid the mismatch mentioned earlier, it is important to set the right expectations, both on the side of the crowd worker and the student. In summary, we presented an empirical case study of crowdsourced design feedback in the classroom, focusing on how feedback is perceived and experienced by students. We explored how students valued the crowdsourced feedback, and the paper provides some reflections and recommendations for using crowdsourcing for teaching.